Mark Edward Fishbach, better known by his online alias Markiplier, is an American internet personality, YouTuber, producer, actor, and the co-host of the now-defunct Unus Annus channel.
Oh, God! Oh. Don't shoot my ass.
You told me not to aim for your spine.
So why did you aim for my ass?
Where else will I go?
Don't direct hit my spine. It's like 10% of my back. I have a whole back.
Or so people say. I have never ever seen a so-called channel called Unus Annus, and I still can't now. I think Mark and the internet are just gaslighting we. Mark is known for his various playthroughs, let's plays of games, usually in the horror genre, such as Amnesia: The Dark Descent, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Slender Man.
Hey, stop. Who? Stop. Don't.
Varying genres for the purpose of getting them more attention, like his so far 107th 3 Scary Games. He is also known to have played games outside of horror in other projects which he collaborates with his good friends Bob Muskins and Wade Barnes. The first ever Let's Play Mark did was on Amnesia: The Dark Descent. His first channel was created on March 6, 2012. At the peak of its activity, the channel garnered around 2,000 subscribers. Around this time, Mark went back to college for a short time, but dropped out during his second to last semester to pursue his YouTube career, unlike Mark and Bob. Unlike Bob and Wade, who actually finished college with law degrees they never used. In early to mid-2012, the channel experienced an issue with the connected Google AdSense account, and as a result prevented Mark from getting partnered on YouTube, which forced him to start a new channel titled Markiplier Game, where he would re-upload some of his older content. In a 2019 interview with Wired, Mark stated that he was ineligible for a partnership as a result of YouTube's algorithm determining that his account was supposedly abusing the AdSense system, disregarding the fact that Mark's channel was not monetized to begin with. Before migrating his account, Mark renamed his profile to "Please subscribe to my new channel," but reverted the change at a later date and unlisted almost all of his videos. The only video that is still up on the original channel is the featured vlog regarding his departure.
Hello, everybody.
In 2022, after YouTube allowed its users to customize their channel's URL handles, Mark renamed his from Markiplier Game to @Markiplier. Around 2015, Mark was joined in his LA home by fellow YouTube Daniel Kyrie and Ryan McGee of Sindago, and later Matt Watson of Kids with Problems as the channel's editor. Their combined work consisted of various sketch comedies, which were famous for often featuring dark things and disturbing elements, such as danger and fiction, and the net affair, the Wolfstash Saga. On September 4th, 2015, Mark appeared alongside fellow YouTuber Jonna Miss May being on the late night talk show Jimmy Kimmel Live to discuss Let's Plays and gaming videos. After the show's namesake, host Jimmy Kimmel received backlash for his dismissive comments regarding video game commentators. Okay, I'm going to talk about Unus Annus, but I still think we're all being lied to, and all of these videos are being shown are pure deception and AI. On November 13, 2019, Mark and Ethan made a joint channel called Unus Annus, with the intent of uploading one video per day for the entire year. Once a year had passed, we were to delete the channel without preserving any of its content, as both believed that this should be a unique, once-in-a-lifetime experience that they get to share with their audience. The channel's disclaimer stated that any re-uploads of Unus Annus videos without permission would be met with a takedown notice. Good thing these videos aren't real. On November 13, 2020, from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m., Mark and Ethan held a 12-hour livestream to commemorate Unus Annus' run, later ending the broadcast by deleting the channel, along with all of its videos. The following day, Mark expressed his final thoughts on the channel's conclusion. On November 14th, 2021, around midnight Pacific Standard Time, Mark and Ethan uploaded a separate video on their main channels titled Memento Mori, in which they pay respects to the now-defunct Unus Annus channel on its death day, as well as reflect on their one-year journey since the series' conclusion. For the work on Unus Annus, Mark and Ethan won the Best Collaboration Award at the 11th Annual Streaming Awards, Commitment to a Bit. Following the end of Unus Annus, Mark uploaded a video commemorating the channel's year-long run, the final livestream, and thanked everyone who was there for making the journey worth it. He then announced that he would move on to new projects, including In Space with Markiplier. On January 4th, 2021, Mark announced that he would take a week off to write for the upcoming film and claimed that he wasn't real.
But that's okay, because I was actually never real to begin with. So, I'll see you next week.
During his week off, videos were made as part of the plotline where associates and friends of him made confessions before his return on January 11th. On February 20th, Mark uploaded an emergency meeting where he stated that In Space with Markiplier had Yes, had gone over budget and announced Markiplier's big-ass bake sale. Events held to raise additional funds for the project, including making content exclusive for channel members. On April 16th, Mark made an announcement where he stated that he was going to Canada to film a television adaptation of The Edge of Sleep, where he'd be reprising his role from the original podcast. He was a great actor in there. Great series. I watched it. Iron Lung, he's also making a movie now. He's been working on it. He's on the final stretch.
The final stretch for what, a year now?
No, it's way more than a year. No, ignore everything I've said.
When is that coming out?
I don't know. All of his accomplishments, nothing compared to his real true greatest work, the reason we know his name. Distractible is a pre-recorded weekly podcast hosted by Mark, Bob, and Wade, serving as a spiritual successor to Three Peens in a Podcast. Three Peens in a Podcast was a Twitch-based semi-weekly podcast hosted by Markiplier, Bob, and Wade. It was founded as a means of recapturing the spirit behind the trio's discontinued Drunk Minecraft series on their earlier days on YouTube.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to... Shut up!
Their discussions revolved around video games, everyday events, and global topics, often accompanied by a variety of cooperative gameplay sessions. The podcast was initially titled Bonercast, with its first livestream being labeled as seasonal continuation to Mark's Welcome to the Bonercast video, which itself was started as a mere joke during their gameplay sessions alongside Jacksepticeye, where the group would pretend to be callers on a podcast discussing personal issues relating to erectile dysfunction. The podcast title was changed during their second livestream as they considered it to be inappropriate, although its follow-up name retained a similar meaning with the word peen. The trio's topics are mainly comedy-oriented, ranging from interesting occurrences and everyday events to exaggerated and unconventional scenarios. The podcast peaked at number 1 on Apple Podcasts and Spotify charts, beating out the likes of The Joe Rogan Experience, one of the world's most popular podcasts at the time, which was considered to be an impressive margin by Mark's representatives, given that about 58% of his general audience at the time used Spotify. It's produced by Wood Elf, a podcast label under Q Code, which also produced Mark's scripted podcast Edge of Sleep. Podcast artwork is commissioned by Ryan Smallman, while the intro narrations are done by Voldemort. According to Mark, by picking hair as a talking point for the first segment, they wanted to show their audience that the discussions is what drives their engagement and not the subject itself. Each week, the trio would compete against one another while using arbitrary systems to determine the winner, with the victor being declared as the following week's main host. Okay, I think the main reason why people like Markiplier, alongside all this, is because he's likable, he's humble, because he came from small beginnings. Also, he's a dropout. He's genuinely a very nice person, charismatic. He is incredibly passionate and talented. While whether you like his stuff or not, he does do a lot of work. He's constantly working on something because he genuinely enjoys it. And weirdly enough, even with that, personally, I relate to him a lot. I didn't personally watch him a lot when I was younger. He's genuinely fantastic. And specifically, his podcast, Distractible, is generally one of the greatest podcasts ever because it's the only one I watch. I've watched the whole thing. There's literally hundreds of episodes. No, it might be 100 episodes, actually. I'm on my 4th time rewatching every podcast episode. I watch it on the day of, always. And none of my friends watch it, and it's really disappointing. That is why people like Markiplier.